Welcome to Fire Engineering Training Minutes. I'm Frank Ricci here in New Haven with Josh Miller, assigned to Rescue 1 Special Operations Command. Today we're going to talk to you about effective search. All too often we search burn buildings that have no furniture in there. Get out in your community, find a vacant and furnish it. Get a crib, get bunk beds, get beds. And when we demo search, we don't want to demonstrate it slowly. I know that we tend to fall into that trap, but then firefighters, when they go to the next call, they tend to search slow. We want to search fast. We also want to control the door. When searching without a line, door control is number one. What we're going to see here is the firefighters are going to enter from the inside. Now, you can go to any kitchen table across America and you will see firefighters say, if you enter and isolate and search and you don't close the door, you failed. But yet, firefighters who come in the room from the inside will leave the door open, vent the window. The fire doesn't know whether you entered from the inside or outside. If you take the window, you create the flow path. We're going to demonstrate that right here today. Josh, can you explain the benefits with the search after you close the door?
So while searching, to facilitate a cleaner search, what you want to do is you want to ensure that the door is closed behind you. Once you enter the room, you want to come in, close the door, search behind the door, and by closing the door, you make sure that the heat, smoke, fire, and all those other elements are outside of the room. Once you come into the room, you're able to clear the window, completely take all the glass, and you'll have a more tenable environment to stand up, possibly search a crib or a bunk bed. Always make sure you search behind your doors and in your closets.
So what we find in communities all over America is the door will often cover a closet. It could cover another door, the door to the basement if you're out in the living area. So it's critical that we always search behind the door. If an engine company brought a line through the door and the door is chocked open, if you're on the rescuer truck, it is your responsibility to unchock the door and make sure that there's not a closet or a victim behind that door. Let's take a look at this in real time. Now we're in the next bedroom. It is critical when the firefighter enters to search. After closing the door, when they reach a bed, we want to make sure there is no bunk bed. The firefighter is going to square the corners of the bed. They're going to actually run their hands along the bed frame to ensure that there's no poles for a bunk bed. They're also going to be looking for a ladder that goes up to the top of the bunk bed. Josh, could you explain a little bit more about searching the bed itself?
When you're searching the bed itself, what you want to ensure is that there's nobody inside of the blankets. A lot of times the blankets get bunched up. There could be more than one person under the blanket. There could be a small dog inside of the blanket. You want to make sure that you completely search the bed. You also want to search under the bed, and you want to get to the other side of the bed and make sure there's nothing in between the bed and the wall itself. When leapfrogging between two rooms, ensure that you close the doors so that you're in an environment that's tenable and makes your search clean.
We also can't stress enough, and we talked about it in the last bedroom, is that doors often cover doors. Here's a perfect example. It covers the closet. Every year for the last 40 years, when we look at NFPA statistics, we find between 3 and 6% of our victims perform irrational acts, such as getting into a bathtub or hiding in a closet under a bed. We just saw the St. Louis Fire Department this year rescue several victims, and they found one victim in a tent. You have to make sure when you're performing a search, you have to crawl. You're not going to find anybody standing up. We owe it to the citizens to find every child and every dog. Your community has many children, but none to spare. I'm Frank Ricci and Josh Miller for Fire Engineering Training Minutes. Now get out and train.